They've turned to a president renovating the White House as their chief attack line because every week it's something new and nothing sticks, and so they're going to try this now. You remember once upon a time we were fighting about Doge and they were out there singing and screaming about him gutting USAID and other non-governmental organizations with Doge? Remember when they thought that would stick? I'm forgetting. It escapes me the number of things. You could probably add to the list of things in the course of the last, 9-10 months now that they've been shrieking about, trying to get you to care about, and it never works and it never sticks, and they move on to the new thing. So this week, what is it? It's the $300 million renovation to the East Wing of the White House. This is supposed to now get people really animated. Now, why is this not going to work? First question, why is this not going to work? Fast Eddie, have you thought much about why, for Democrats, this line of attack on the president, remodeling the White House for the 90,000 square foot ballroom, why is it not going to work?
I think first and foremost because it's not being paid for by tax dollars.
Precisely. That's a great one. Here's another one. How many Americans actually go to that White House? How many Americans have actually walked through or seen that White House? How many Americans have a connection to that White House or have deep feelings about it as a structure? Genuinely speaking, how many?
I don't think
most. Half? Many? I don't think so either. This is personal to who? Democrats who hate Trump and people who have been there, who regularly lunch there and dine there and hang out there and feel like big shots. I've never been in the East Wing of the White House. Have you, Ed? You ever visited the East Wing? Anybody you know ever been in the East Wing of the White House?
No. No one that I know has been in the East Wing of the White House.
I've been in the Rose Garden. I haven't since they've paved it. That's really made them mad that he's put pavers are not the word, whatever you call in suburban terms, it's called pavers. Jessica Tarlov says it looks like where they'd serve kids chicken fingers now. Do you object to the... I took a Rump Society poll yesterday. If you object to the improvements the president is making. I heard Glenn Beck talking about all the gilding. Ed, does the gilding bother you? The golden trim, the ornate golden things that he's put on the Oval Office and on the portico wall there with the pictures of the presidents, the Biden auto pin photo next to all the photos of all the other. Does that stuff bother you?
See, I'm not a huge fan of gilding. It's just kind of a style thing. I know Trump is. I've seen like Mar-a-Lago and I've seen Trump Tower. I'm not a fan of that style, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't keep me up at night. Yeah.
Now, Beck was explaining this because Beck was apparently given a private tour with the president, and Beck was on his show talking about this, and I saw a clip of it yesterday, and I thought it really intriguing. And he said it this way. The president said, "Do you think I just do this gilding stuff for fun because I like it?" And Beck was kind of like, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, I do it because do you know who comes through here? Guys who come from these opulent palaces with lots and lots of gilding and chandeliers. I do this, and doesn't this make more sense, Ed? Now he explains to Beck, the reason I decorate the White House this way is to make it look very opulent, so that crown heads and princes and all these leaders and these Middle Eastern people who come from these big, expansive castles and wealthy, gilded enclaves, they come to the White House and they're impressed. Trump says this is the greatest home court advantage and I want to dress it up. That's why I do this. Make sense?
That makes sense. It's a style thing, but I totally get it. He wants to impress.
Yes, he is convinced, and it sure seems, as many visits as he's hosted, that it's working. These people are coming through, and they're pretty impressed by what he's doing. So he says, for decades and decades, presidents have wanted a large entertainment space to host real, substantive, big-shot galas and balls and things like this. He's building a 90,000 square foot ballroom that will hold approximately, he says, 1,000 people when it's all said and done. A party of 1,000 at a time. And he says presidents long since before him have wanted this thing, and he's going to deliver. And he's doing it, to your point, free of any tax dollars whatsoever. It's all private donations. Today they're freaking out that it was originally priced at $250 million and now it's priced at $300 million. It's like, why should we care what it costs? The taxpayers aren't paying for any of it, so what's it matter if it's $500 million when it's all said and done? He says private donors and he are paying for it. Okay, fine. All right, so now they think they can make you hysterical, and we touched on this a little bit. Hillary Clinton, Pocahontas, we touched on this. They are showing you pictures of the... Does this bother you? He is demolishing, effectively, from what I gather, in the pictures that I've seen, he's just tearing down the existing East Wing structure to rebuild it with the extended ballroom. And he was kind of explaining this when the LSU team was visiting earlier in the week. He said, we're going to make a great kind of entryway, kind of a holding area for people, and then a ballroom that they can spill into for formal dinner. He's basically redesigning the entire East Wing. Does this upset you, Fast Eddie? Serious question, and if it does, you can tell me so. I don't care.
It doesn't, no. No.
It does not bother you.
No.
So you don't have like an emotional attachment to the East Wing? You see these pictures of the giant claw tearing down that doesn't alarm you? Because Democrats, they're posting this photo like it should haunt your dreams. I'm seeing leftists. I hate this man. I hate him. He's destroying our house. And I think, is this working?
Destroying?
Or is this just a thing?
Destroying, or how many people have tried to destroy the White House in 2020 when Trump was there? How many people have tried to breach the property or firebomb it? Come on.
How about when they lit the church aflame?
Yeah.
Right across the Lafayette Square. Yeah, I mean, before Trump, he had to come out with the scrub brushes and the paint to scrub all the graffiti off all the statues they're trying to tear down. The American left has no reverence for history. They're trying to destroy history. The American left has absolutely no interest in preserving anything about American history. They want to destroy, 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 which is what I was talking about yesterday, and I wrote about in the Harumph Society yesterday. President Trump is building this better. He's building back better. Remember, that's what I think Obama used to call it, the Build Back Better bill, or was that Biden? I don't remember which. Build Back Better.
Biden. No.
Well, yeah, that was Biden. Okay, well, Trump is actually building something, and he's building it back better. He builds things up. And so, yeah, he's got to tear down the East Wing. Now, well, if you want to hear some of this, I mean, it's just so stupid. Give me number 16 here. This is the Democrat Chris Murphy, lunatic from Connecticut, screeching about it. Listen.
No, listen, there's a lot of history that has taken place in the East Wing, and it was just destroyed without any conversation in the American public, without any consent of Congress. It was absolutely illegal. And, yeah, that visual is powerful because you are essentially watching the destruction of the rule of law happen as those walls come down. It is just a symbol about how cavalier he is about every single day acting in new and illegal ways. That's the story with the killings in the Caribbean as well. The president just doesn't believe that any law applies to him, that he can destroy federal property, that he can steal from American citizens, that he can kill with impunity, that he can throw anyone in jail. We are not living in a functional democracy any longer. It's not too late to save it, but it is just important to acknowledge that we aren't on the precipice of losing our democracy. We are losing it every single day. We are not a functional nation with a rule of law any longer, and those toppled walls in the East Wing are a pretty stark reminder of that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is he now taking up with narco terrorists? Did I just hear that correctly, Ed? They've been defending Abrego Garcia and having cocktails with him in El Salvador. Now they're defending the narco terrorists. Have I got that right?
That's correct, yes.
The people on drug boats from Venezuela are now to be afforded due process through the United States. Have I heard that correctly?
Absolutely, especially when they're bringing drugs, yes.
So tearing down the East Wing has driven them now to defend narco terrorists. Wow. I mean, they are teetering on absolute insanity if they're not already there. Okay, look. Now, a cursory search, and I put this up last night before I went to bed. Just a stupid cursory Google search or an AI ask in the, whatever, Grok, Chat GPT. Just ask, have presidents remodeled or demolished the White House previously? it spits out very quickly and easily a recent history of this. In fact, one of the presidential libraries has a full display of the total destruction of the White House, not but 70 years ago.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.